on a sunny and cool but warming up on a Tuesday morning in Northeast Ohio. Welcome on into the bullpen. I'm your host, Adam the Bull. He's Dustin Fox.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. And it's Bull and Fox here on this Tuesday. What is it, Tuesday?
Tuesday, May 12th, Adam.
It's a little confusing. It is Tuesday morning. Plenty to get to today, and we will get to the Browns, the schedule release coming out. The Guardians get a win last night. But obviously, we'll begin in the NBA in a second. Dustin, how you doing? What's going on today?
Fantastic. I'm much better that the Cavaliers have tied the series up 2 games apiece. Can everybody just calm down?
I'm not hearing Dustin. I don't know what's going on.
You're not hearing me.
I don't know if I'm not here, if there's something wrong on my end or your end. I have no idea.
I'm just telling you that I'm excited that the Cavaliers are tied 2-2. Can you hear that, Bull? I hear you fine.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm excited that the Cavaliers are tied 2-2. Can you hear that, Bull?
I see now. I hear you on my speaker through my computer, but I'm not hearing you in my headphones. I don't know what's going on. Having all kinds of issues here. Hold on, I'm gonna fix this. And now it becomes an echo. So,
this is not great.
How we doing now?
I'm doing just fine, buddy.
There we go. It's all fixed. All right.
Okay.
Sorry for the confusion, everybody, but here we go. So you are doing well. I couldn't hear what you were saying, but
Cavs are 2-2. We're all happy. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So it's so funny because, we'll get into looking ahead in a minute, but let's start with last night. And, the first half, Donovan Mitchell was a non-factor. In fact, he was a negative factor offensively. He didn't get his first field goal till late in the first half. He had 3 points at the half. But then in the second half, Donovan Mitchell ties an NBA record with 39 points. Finishes with 4 points in the first half. 39 points in the second half. Finishes with a plus-minus of plus 28. Makes 13 of 15 free throws, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, only 1 turnover, 1 steal. And the Cavs led by Donovan Mitchell and really led by the big three. We've been saying the stars got to play like stars, and they did, led by Donovan yesterday. Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, and Evan Mobley combined for 84. The Cavs 112 points. And they win 112-103. And that run at the beginning of the second half, Dustin, was something we've never seen, not even during the LeBron years. A 22-0 run to start the second half, and that was the game. Because Detroit, it was a close game, obviously, at the half. Detroit was ahead by a little bit. The Cavs went on that 22-0 run, and the Pistons kept making some runs to make it, close or close-ish. But in the end, they never could get any closer. Then, the final score was 9. They got, I think, within 8. But complete domination in that third quarter, especially the first 6 minutes of the third quarter.
No, it's a good point, Bull, and they had to have it because you're right. The Pistons are pesky. They don't go away, even though we got up, 20 points or whatever it was, 21, I believe. They was it 21?
No, you're right. They were up by 21. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So with that being said, the Pistons are going to scrap and claw and make it tight in the fourth, and they sort of did. I mean, they end up was it the final? They won by 11 or 9?
9, yeah.
112-103. But the point is, we had to have that third quarter, and we had to have Donovan Mitchell step up. We had to have him go full takeover mode in that game. I wish it would have happened at the start of the ball game, but at least there was a sense of urgency at halftime where this team came out motivated, and they took it to him. I mean, they absolutely took it to him, and I do think, Adam, that third quarter may end up being the defining moment in the series because I think they're going to win Game 5. I do.
Yeah, I want to feel that way, but I've seen too many times, not only in the past, but even this year, where we felt great about the Cavs after they played at home, and then they go on the road and they're a different team. I hope that what we saw yesterday is a turning point and that they can get it done, but the facts remain that the Cavs are 6-0 at home and 0-5 on the road in the playoffs. So until they get it done, it's hard to have a ton of faith. After we just saw what we saw these last 2 games in Cleveland, it's easy to talk yourself into, the Cavs are going to win. They should win. And they're only a slight underdog, 4 points on the road tomorrow night. But I don't know. As great as they played, especially in that second half, I still don't have a ton of confidence that they're going to get it done in Detroit. You do, though.
I mean, I was in Detroit for game 2.
Are you going back for game 5?
I'm not going back for game 5. But I am going to be watching intently, and obviously, I think it's a game. I mean, they could have won game 2.
Sure.
Game 1, whatever. But like game 2 for sure, they could have won. They were down big. They just need to come out strong from the start, which they did sort of last night. I mean, it wasn't like that run they had in the third quarter, but they did come out with some energy. I unfortunately could not go last night to the game, but my wife did go. We had tickets, and I had another prior engagement that I had to be at last night, before the game. Anyway, she said that the atmosphere was off the charts and electric from the start of the game, which was huge, and we had to have it, and they got it done. And I'll tell you this much: we haven't talked since really the weekend and since last week, but over the weekend, game 3, oh my God, dude. The Pistons had the lead with a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, if they win that game,
it's over.
The series is done. I don't think the Cavs win last night.
No doubt about it. If they had lost
let's give this team some credit, Bull. For being a little bit resilient. I can't talk. Resilient. Finding a way to get the job done and evening the series up 2-2, where now you put the pressure, I think, on Detroit now, big time, because they were feeling very confident. Their hope was to come to Cleveland, steal one, be up 3-1, which is obviously a great spot to be in, going back to your place with 2 home games to close out the series. And now that is all, it's disappeared. And all of a sudden now it's tight again.
And in addition to Donovan, who obviously had that magnificent second half, James Harden, who I and others were killing after game 2. And by the way, I said this last night, I'll say it again. James Harden doesn't get apologies. Let them win the series. Then I'll start apologizing. But I will credit him that he's played fantastic in these 2 games. He was shooting so poorly coming into these 2 games in Cleveland. And from 3, he had only made in games 5, in games 6 and 7 against Toronto and 1 and 2 against Detroit. He had been 3 for 20 from 3 and had shot 15% and 30% from the field. Well, in these last 2 games, he's shooting 50% from 3 and just under 50% from the field. And he's had 18 assists and only 5 turnovers in the last 2 games. I mean, that's if Donovan and James play like they have the last 2 games, and Mobley to the lesser degree, then the Cavs you'll be right. Then the Cavs will win tomorrow and they'll take care of the series in 6. But can they do it? Can they do it on the road? That's the question. You'd think guys like Donovan and James, it wouldn't matter home road, but it has. So let's see if they can do it. But, the way those 2 guys played, early in the series, we were asking, and late in the Toronto series, we were asking, is Donovan Mitchell hurt? Is there something wrong with him? Well, he's looked like a completely different player, obviously, in these last 2 games. And the performance he put on in the second half, I mean, that was an all-time. If the Cavs win this series, you're going to look back and, maybe if they make even a deeper run, we'll see. But if that second half performance by him, that's an all-time great performance and a half in the history of the NBA.
39 points, dude. I mean, I'm no mathematician, Bull and Fox math.
Yeah.
But if he did that in the first half, I think he'd have had 78 points.
He would have. That's very good math right there.
Which would be pretty darn incredible.
Yeah.
All right, so let me say this about James Harden.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of everybody out there that wants to hate on this guy because I get it. The turnovers they're frustrating. They're tough to watch. But the season's not over. After the year is over and they get eliminated, and you want to bitch about James Harden, fine. You don't want him back, fine. You think he sucks in the playoffs, fine. But right now, we need this guy. We need to have him as much as we've ever needed him, especially in game 5. And so I applaud this dude because he had to be hearing it from every which way.
Yeah.
And did a great job with the interviews, talked about kind of blocking out the noise, which is almost impossible to do.
Yeah.
You know how hard that is.
Of course.
And he has been able to do that. And arguably, game 4 last night was his best performance as a Cavalier, I think, because it was a clean performance. He was 9 for 9 from the line. He had 11 assists, 24 points. Like, he played great with two-man action with Donovan Mitchell. Like, it was a really marvelous performance, I thought, by James Harden.
Yeah, double-digit assists. So it was his first it was his second double-double. He had a double-double in game 1 against Toronto. Yeah, I hear you. Bad-mouthing him now is pointless. My point was that I killed him after game 2, and I had people last night saying, you got to give him an apology. No, I'd give him kudos
You don't
for
have
what
to
he did.
apologize to him. No one has to apologize to him. I'm just saying,
get it done.
Let's not get – we need him.
Yes,
we
of
need
course.
to have him.
Of course.
It's like having you're a baseball guy. It's like having a closer or a big-time hitter in a slump. And, like, you got to get them out of it. And when they do, all of a sudden good things happen.
They can't win. Like, their recipe for winning is their two best players playing like their two best players. When they do, the Cavs 100%. Are hard to beat. And that's why they won last night. That's why they dominated the second half, because ultimately they have 2 stars and the Pistons have 1.
And the third option, Evan Mobley showed up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's no coincidence that in the games those guys have played all well together, that the Cavs have been great, and that's been the home games. Mobley, you're right, 17 points. Listen to the stat line. 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 5 blocks. I mean, that's just crazy.
Is that a definition of a rim protector?
Yeah, he did a great job.
So.
5 blocks. I mean, when's he done that? So that was just a magnificent game by him.
I know Jared Allen wasn't big in the stat sheet, but he was still, his presence was felt inside. Like, I do think that our bigs made it hard for them.
Yeah,
I thought that our defense and our physicality in this game specifically, it stepped up. It went to a different level. And JB Bickerstaff, you can bitch about all the fouls you want and how Kenny Atkinson bitched, and now he's getting calls. It's like, okay, maybe the Cavs adjusted a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe the Cavs realized you guys were getting away with everything in the first couple of games, in your place, grabbing and holding guys and doing all these things on the perimeter. Well, all of a sudden last night, I'm not sure about this, but I'm pretty sure Duncan Robinson only got 2 threes up.
Yeah, he did.
Kate
nothing.
Cunningham had a face in his or had a hand in his face every single time he took a shot.
Yeah, I agree.
So I was impressed last night, man.
Yeah, I got to say, like, the Jared Allen part of this that you mentioned, you're right. If you didn't watch the game and you just saw the box score, you're like, well, whatever. He had 9 points. He had 5 rebounds, 2 blocks.
He was there, though. He was there.
But if you watch the game, there was a lot of little things. He was just harassing on defense. And they were up the cat. Like, I feel like a lot of games, the Cavs play teams and the other team's a pain in the ass, and it's like it drives the Cavs crazy. I felt like last night the Cavs were a pain in the ass, especially in the second half, and they need to play like that more often. They were fierce on defense. I mean, holding Detroit to 103 points. They were. I thought everybody played well. I mean, Sam Merrill's running around like a lunatic. But the big guys did a great job, and Evan Mobley had a plus 30 in the plus minus. And what's funny is you look at even if I throw in Allen, I mean, nobody on the, Dane Wade only took 1 shot in 23 minutes. Nobody on the bench had a particularly good offensive game. I mean, Dennis Schroeder, I thought, played pretty well in the minutes he played in the second half. But, Sam Merrill and Max Strus couldn't make a shot. They were 4 of 15 from the field and 3 of 13 from 3, but they didn't need it. They didn't shoot particularly well from 3. They were 34%. The Pistons actually had a better shooting percentage from the field, from the free throw line. The Cavs from the 3-point line, but the Cavs went to the free throw line 22 more times and made 88%. They needed that, Dustin, because the Cavs have not been shooting free throws well. But you mentioned Harden before, going 9-9. Evan Mobley, who struggled from the line, was a perfect 4 from 4, and Donovan made 13 and 15. If he had made that last one, he would have had the 40 in the second half, which no player has ever done in a playoff. I can't believe LeBron's never scored 40 and a half in a playoff game. It's hard to believe.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Some Cavs comments in the chat.
Yeah.
0-5er high bull. Harden set the tone. Mark F says Cavs going to get this series. We have too much firepower against Detroit. Cobrathon says, go Cavs. Larry Foss says, good morning. So does George. Thank you, guys. 0-5er Spider closes it out. Wade needs to go. Start Sam and get the points. 05er Adam, I care about your health. How's it going? It's going great, guys. I'm down 70 pounds as of yesterday morning in 73 days, so I'm feeling good. Eddie, hey, good morning, guys. I'm glad the Cavs tied it. Bull and Fox emojis for chairman of the board. Mark F., good things happen when Harden and Mitchell drive to the basket. It leads to double teams, and then we kick it out to feed our big boys. The other guys didn't really make a lot of threes, though. That's what's funny, even with them. And James Harden actually made 0 2-point field goals in this game, if you can believe that. He was 0 for 5 inside the 3-point line. And besides Harden, Donovan, the Cavs only made 5 threes besides those two. They were Donovan and Harden were 9 of 21 from 3. The rest of the team was 5 for 20. So it wasn't like they kicked out and got a lot of baskets off of that. It was their ability to score, and especially Donovan Mitchell's ability to get to the basket and score. Let's see. Chairman of the board, James Harden and his beard had a great game too. Very few turnovers. Yes, that was huge. Daryl says Harden was the Harden we traded for. Williams says staggering Mitchell minutes and letting the kitchen do its job. If the team needs a burst, he gets it done. Mark says Cavs are getting better on defense. If they don't turn it over and get back on transition defense, they're winning tomorrow night. There is a lot of confidence right now, Dustin. It's funny. It's like we forget that the series changes so much home road. People are very hopeful, though, that maybe this time that won't happen, that the Cavs will take this good play, which they haven't been able to do in the past from their home games, and transfer it to the road. Can they finally end this streak? The Cavs have played 11 playoff games, perfect at home, winless on the road, trying to change that. They have to, otherwise they're going home. They not necessarily tomorrow.
Guess who's not undefeated at home? Detroit.
Detroit is not.
Detroit's not undefeated at home.
That is correct.
So they should be puckering up a little bit right now.
Yeah,
I truly think that if you're a Pistons fan today, you got to be a little bit nervous because Jalen Duren didn't do anything in this game last night.
No,
Cade Cunningham was shut down in this game last night. I'd be paranoid. Your coach is bitching about the officiating going into game 5.
Yeah, but to me, that's just a move that coaches make. I don't know.
I don't think it's going to change things.
I mean, it did for the Cavs, didn't it? To some degree.
I think the way the Cavs played changed.
That's
the
part
game.
of it.
I mean,
sure.
That's a big. I think. I mean, look, you just said it. All those points came not on 3-pointers.
Yeah,
they were going to the basket.
Yeah, no, they did. There's no doubt about it.
They weren't very aggressive. They weren't aggressive in the first couple of games, and when they did go to the basket, and there was contact, they weren't, for whatever reason, getting fouled. And now they're, whatever it is from their standpoint, they're getting the calls because the way that they're going to the basket, the amount that they're going to the basket, they're being very aggressive, and I like that.
Yeah, I hear you. We'll see if it changes. I'm very scarred from in the past. They've looked great at home, and then they've gone on the road, and
I feel you, dude. But we're not playing the Warriors here.
No, that's true. But it's still their recent history. I'll try to be more hopeful. I'll try to be more hopeful that they can. They should. There shouldn't be, especially because it's Donovan and James. There shouldn't be any reason why they don't play. I can understand the others not playing great on the road, but Donovan and James it shouldn't matter, home or road. So the Cavs are still the underdog in the series because obviously the Pistons still have home court. Not a huge favorite, but minus 148.
Best of 3 series, man.
Yeah. Rage, Ohio. It's fine to have confidence. It gets a bit overkill when people start shit talking like we already won, but go Cavs even the series. I agree with that, but who knows? Sweaty Hiker. Flip has been switched. Bull. Or the switch has been flipped. Either way. So we shall see. I love the way Schroeder is playing. Some says JG from space. Wouldn't mind seeing him start over Wade. Yeah, it's interesting when they went with that 3-guard lineup. They used that to close out the game yesterday. I mean, Dean Wade obviously plays some defense. He provides nothing on the offensive end. I mean, like I said, he took 1 shot and missed it in 23 minutes. He had 1 turnover, 5 rebounds, 0 assists. He does nothing on the offensive end. He is an absolute zero on that end. So it'll be interesting.
Strus has been balling, dude. off the bench.
Yeah, he didn't shoot it particularly well yesterday.
Nah, but he
again,
still brings energy, man.
Yeah, he and Merrill, I thought both, neither one's a great defender, but I thought they gave great effort on the defensive side. We'll save the schedule comes out Thursday, so we'll save the schedule talk for later in the week when we do the Thursday show. But the Guardians last night win 7-2. Good performance by Joey Cantillo. 6 shutout innings, allowed 6 base runners, struck out 4. The Guardians scored 7 runs in the first 2 innings. That was it, but that's all they needed because they won 7-2. They scored 7 runs in the first 2 innings without a home run. They got a few doubles. Travis Bazzana had a 2-run double. Rocchio, bottom of the lineup, getting the job done. Rocchio, Bazzana, and Schneemann in the 7, 8, 9 spots combined to go 3 for 10 with 2 runs and 6 ribbies. David Fry, actually, from the 6th spot. All the RBIs from the 6th spot on down. Stephen Kwan, though, continues to struggle, and I think the Guardians at this point have to seriously consider taking him out of the leadoff spot. He's been one of the worst players in baseball. He did walk twice, but is still 0 for 3. His OPS is 307. His on-base percentage is 307. His OPS is 570, which is hideous. So maybe time for him to go to the bottom of the lineup. I know they probably won't do it, but I would kind of love to see Travis Bazzana hit at the top of the lineup. They probably won't do that. And I don't know if they're going to move Kwan, but they should because he's a total disaster right now. He can't hit a lick. It's bizarre to see, but there you go. All right. Coming up tomorrow, 2 podcasts tomorrow. I'm talking with Greg Cosell. And also the post game after Cavs and Pistons game 5. Your confidence level is high. You're convinced the Cavs are going to win tomorrow?
Convinced? I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not gun to my head. Yeah, I think they're going to win, but I wouldn't bet the house on it. No, I mean, they're still favored for a reason. I know how these playoffs go, and I could see this certainly going 7 games.
Yeah,
but after being in that building for game 2, it's not the fans weren't crazy. It didn't feel any louder than our place or like that. And I don't know. I think we can win there. I do.
Thunder perfect 8-0 in the playoffs. They'll
unbeatable, dude.
I mean, they haven't played. Obviously, Phoenix and the Lakers not great teams, but they look hard to beat. The Spurs dominated them in the regular season. How much that matters in the playoffs, we'll see. The Spurs still got to take care of business against the T-Wolves, who had a really great run here with Anthony Edwards had been hurt. He's back, obviously. And that series is tied at 2. Who you like in that series?
I think the Spurs. Anthony Edwards is playing well for his injury. I mean, he's still a little bit up and hop. You can tell when they play. If Wemby doesn't get ejected in that last game, it's a 3-1 series.
Yeah.
They were dominant in that game. Leaves. And they still almost won the game. I mean, it took a miraculous comeback in the 4th quarter by the Timberwolves to win that game to obviously tie it up. I still think the Spurs are going to win this series. I will 6. I think in the next 2.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up here. Thanks to everybody for joining us today. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Thanks to Drew and Alex for producing. We'll talk to you next time. Where else but right here in the Bullpen with Bull and Fox, brought to you by Bet Rivers. See you, everybody.
Peace.